to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
White, here. Moore. Here. Emerson. Here. Saunders.
Here.
I'm here. Sergeant at Arms Bill York, excused. Ordinance Officer Steve Pennington, excused.
Any amendments to the agenda? Everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes of the last meeting as well as the special meeting. If so, I need a motion to it.
Motion to accept both of them.
Second. Motion and support. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Treasury report.
Excuse me. Last month's balance was $950,072.62. Receipts for the month, $64,075.67. Disbursements, $81,557.77, leaving a new balance of $932,590.52.
Motion to accept the treasury report.
Motion to accept it.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, everybody had a chance to review the bills from last month, if so, we need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make it. I'll second it.
Motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Clerk's report.
Okay, I received a letter from John Ari, and he needs our approval to put the special assessments on the private roads for the 2012 winter taxes in the amounts of 5th and 6th Street, $1,813.82. Lake Ridge Drive, $670.87. Oak Lawn and Wildwood Drive, $2,102. Dennis James Drive, $546.63. Possum Track and Rabbit Track, $2,758.01. West Michael Drive, $596.33. Northern Trail Drive, $1,292.04. LaPlante Street, $894.49. River Valley Drive, $1,863.53. South Chippewa, from Skunk Hollow to West Chippewa, $1,018.73. North Chippewa and West Chippewa, north of North Chippewa, $1,018.73. Scenic River Drive, $596.33. And Patricia Ann, $372.71, and this will be for the maintenance.
Is that being changed along the line, where this is going for all of them? This is our 13 straights. Where before we had them go maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
This is just for the maintenance. The road maintenance. So I need a motion for that.
I'll make the motion that we need the private roads brought up. And when they're already county maintained, we've got to keep them county maintained or we're up in the
Height,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Emerson,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
yes, motion carried. Okay, and then I need a motion to collect special assessment for the private road upgrades on the 2012 winter taxes for the same roads that I just read off. And so far I think we only have one that's coming up. So someone would like to make a motion
I'll
for
make
that.
motion also. I'll second it.
Moore,
Yes.
Emerson,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Height,
Yes.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, and then I need a motion to collect special assessment for garbage for 3,320 parcels at $98.41 per parcel for the 2012 taxes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Emerson,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Height,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
yes, motion carried. Okay, and then the other thing I have, my election workers for, November 6th election. I would like to have Judy Kay as chairperson, and then the election workers will be Linda Harpo, Donna Wiles, Joyce Henry, Bonnie Bloomline, Kathleen Jenkins, Kathleen Race, Nancy Bloomline, Linda Crosskoff, and Barbara Knott. So if I can have a motion for that, please.
I'll make it. I'll
Second.
That's just,
Yeah.
okay, we have motion and support, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Just to touch on that, to clarify it a little bit, on the special assessments, those are for the private road agreements for the 13 roads in Mills Township. Those special assessments, each year those have to be renewed for taxation. The contracts between the road commission are due every 5 years. So that's what those are for. In the special assessment for the garbage, during the treasurer's report, when she indicated the beginning balance, just to clarify too, some of those accounts are strictly for that. Example, the garbage is currently at approximately $230,000. Those dollars are going to be used for the garbage in that particular special assessment. And then we have fire protection, fire equipment, which is millages, so those dollars can only be used for that. And they are fire protection, $104,000, fire equipment, $300,000. And so those dollars are locked into that. But just to kind of explain a little bit on those special assessments. Okay, so supervisor report, the health department water sampling for the bathing beach waters at Skidway and Elbow Lake are complete for the year 2012. The results of the levels of the E. coli were well below the state standards. And I received a private road maintenance agreement from the Oklahoma County Road Commission to renew the road agreement for Northern Trails Drive. No upgrade is needed at this time. So with that, I need a motion to allow me to sign this agreement, and also have you roll call vote to it.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Saunders,
Yes.
Height,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Emerson, yes. Yes, motion carried.
All the parks and the gates will be closed October 19th for the winter. Steve Pennington, the township ordinance officer, is stepping down from his position. He will continue to handle complaints as needed until a replacement can be hired. Steve will be part of the hiring process and make his recommendation to the board. Also, I received a letter from the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Department to wrap up the ORV enforcement officer during the 2012 season. Unfortunately, they didn't have the manpower and the experienced manpower to do. We typically were contracted for about 80 hours, so they were only able to do about 34 hours. They had 34 contacts, 7 warnings, and 6 complaints. Cost to the township was $477.36. That's from the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Department. Again, when I inquired the undersheriff, they just didn't have the manpower to bring a guy down here for any more hours than what was needed. There were a lot of complaints, so it seems that things worked out all right. And that's all I have. There won't be a fire report due to the fact that the fire department is out on a call, as well as there won't be an ordinance officer report. So we'll move on to Commissioner's report. Commissioner Henry.
Good evening. A few things to report on tonight, about 8 things. Commissioners approved the MDOT contract project authorization to receive funds for the Ogama County Public Transit. I provided a copy of the revenue that is projected for the next fiscal year for the transit. The estimated federal funds at $113,352, state funds at $264,747, local funds $241,000. That is the millage revenue that the fund that transit gets from the property tax millage, 0.3 of a mil. I wanted to put this information on the report because in November there will be a question for renewal for the transit millage. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to look at where they get their revenues. There's also estimated other funds of $19,280, and I did forget one line item when I put this report together. $71,000 comes from the fare box, the actual payments that passengers make to ride the transit. You'll notice that the millage is about 1/3 of the total revenue that is generated for transit. Again, it's 0.3 of a mil, and it's up for renewal in November. The board voted to withhold any quarterly payments to the District Health Department number 2 until the Board of Health Commissioners hired a 100% qualified health officer to lead the department. I believe that the District Health Department has hired somebody. I haven't heard whether our commissioners believe that this person is 100% qualified. Thursday we have a meeting, I'm sure it'll be addressed. Commissioners adopted the 2012-2013 general fund revenues expenditures budget. That's basically the county's general fund, and it is $8,795,758. Commissioners adopted a memorandum of understanding between the Ogama County and Ogama County Area Master Gardeners and Friends. This is an agreement for the use of a copier, phone system, voicemail, internet access, and office space. You will notice that you probably recall that the Master Garden program was one of the programs that was cut recently due to revenue issues. It is now a volunteer-based program, and the commissioners and the Master Gardeners decided that they would get together and make an agreement that we would provide office space and copy machine, what have you, and they could continue to run their program on a volunteer basis. Claims and accounts for the month of September, $327,594. Those are expenses for items that you can grab. That does not include payroll. It's tangible things that are reviewed every time we have a meeting. The bills are looked over. Really, the biggest thing on the report that I'm going to report on tonight is that the county is going to refinance the jail. The bond on the jail has currently a variable interest rate which fluctuates between 4% and 6%. Where we are refinancing the project at a variable rate that will fluctuate between 0.8 and 3.95% depending on the year. The bond schedule was set up in advance, and for some reason it is not the same interest rate every year. If we successfully refinance the jail, the annual savings will be between $29,500 and $34,200 per year, which will drop the cost of the total project, including principal and interest, 10.093%. So if we can successfully refinance this thing, the total cost over the 30-year note of the jail will drop a little over 10%. We're really hoping to pull this off. We are not going to extend. We took a 30-year note on the jail. We're not going to extend any more years. We have 27 years left to pay on it. When we refinance it, we're going to still stick with a 27-year amortization schedule. In addition, the commissioners approved $4,645 additional to Charter Technologies for additional work and equipment needed for the new phone system. This project has an 8.75 year rate of return. Basically, the phone system that we put in is now voice over internet. It used to be hardline phones like you were probably used to in the past. We've had some hiccups in the last year with transitioning. It's been tough. Hopefully this last investment will slow the progress of having to keep investing into this program. But now if rates stay the same on hardline systems and rates stay the same on voice over internet, we're looking at an 8.75 year rate of return. After 8.75 years, obviously we'll start to recognize the savings. There was many other things that I couldn't report on tonight, too many to do it in a reasonable amount of time. Most of the things that I could have reported on were based on the state of Michigan and the county having an October 1 fiscal year. So, a lot of contracts that we have, budget renewals, things like that, I decided not to report on. And the last thing I'd like to say is thanks, Frog, for 4 years of service in the township. I believe this is your last meeting. You got one more? Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. Oh, you can't ask them?
Go ahead, you can ask.
Oh, how much money is that on your taxes for the millage? I mean, if you have like a $50,000
It
house?
is 30 cents per $1,000 of taxable value on your property. If
Okay,
your property's worth $100,000, taxable value is $50,000, it would be 50 times 30 cents. 15 bucks.
okay.
Whatever become of the wind farms?
You know what? I haven't really heard anything. It's really a private sector project, and I haven't heard anything that I can report to you in regards to that. I know that one project was permitted probably over a year ago now, and there hasn't been any groundwork on that.
Okay.
I would like to mention that none of the wind farms that have been built have been successful.
What is the occupancy rate on the jail right now?
Occupancy, we are averaging in the ballpark of about 70 inmates of our own and 30 to 35 inmates from out of town.
Is that capacity?
What's that?
Is that capacity or?
We have a 118 bed facility. They like to run about 110. That way they have a few beds that they can move people around. If somebody starts making trouble, they can put them into a maximum correctional facility where it's one room all by themselves, kind of quarantined. And you cannot mix women and men together, obviously, so it's nice to have a little space so they can move people around when necessary. Shane?
The $29,000 to $34,000 that you'll be saving, are you going to be paying that on top as extra principal to pay down the loan faster, or what's going to be done with that extra save? Because you budgeted obviously for that money to be spent.
Good point. I don't think a decision's been made on that, but you know, it could be something to look at. Definitely.
Because you budgeted to spend that, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. So that could be something that could be done. Anybody else got any questions? Appreciate your time.
Commissioner, also Commissioner West is also here too. Move on, unfinished business, fire department bids.
We received 3.
We was put in the paper, I don't have the specific dates, but to do some work at the fire hall, 30 by 30 cement approach pad near the building, and then some specifications, and then 150 yards of heavy fill to extend the driveway out 50 feet beyond the new pad. 70 yards of 70 yards of 1-inch road mix limestone to be added to the complete final grade of the circle driveway. So we received 3 bids, and this is kind of a finish up of the work that was done in the fire hall earlier to fix the road there so the trucks can get out. This is from Mid-Michigan Asphalt in West Branch. They have a total amount of $7,849. We have to show as far as what they have. $7,849. Swanson's excavating. $6,780. And Imer Supply, 4,750. Board bought CDs, pass these around or? Anybody have any comments at this time? No idea right now.
Who did we give between Swanson's and Imer's, who did we give the last large bid to for?
I think they did the fire hall.
Who did we give the last bid to? Imers.
I think it was Imer's.
I don't think Swanson was looking for us for a long time.
We haven't either, just that job. And it was posted in the paper this time.
Why does it matter what you used last?
And we did a lot of extra things when we were over there, when we did the last job too, that we went over and above what we were asked to do. Just so that everybody knows that.
Why does it matter what you did last? Doesn't matter.
What's that?
It looks like Swanson's been a little bit more than what it says.
Well, yeah, I'd have to, as far as a comparison,
50%,
there is,
50% more.
$2,000 difference between the low and the middle and then the high. The high's at 78.49 and then Swanson's in the middle at 67.80. So,
I just gonna keep it here in our community.
unless you want to compare to see what, so there's $2,000 difference between the two. I don't know why. Let's see, the Heimer's 150 yards of fill at 750, Swanson's is 150 yards of heavy fill. Brenda, do you know if you guys figured heavy fill or just fill sand?
It was regular fill sand, that's what was, yeah. You know, Eddie's got fill sand, we got fill sand.
Well, because I know there's a difference between the fill sand and the heavy fill is the only thing.
It's what we used on it, on what we used before, when we had the job.
Did you ask, what was asked a bit on heavy fill or regular fill?
Yeah, what was the bid asked for? I just said
That's what I
for
was looking
fill.
to see if it,
Yeah, just asked for fill dirt, I believe. And I don't think that would
does.
make that much difference in the
Well,
price.
yeah, it says 150 yards of heavy fill
Yeah, well, ours is
in this
heavy,
specification.
yeah.
Did you get these specifications?
Yes, yeah.
Well, I think if Eimer got the last one, then Swanson should. And the next time around, the Eimers.
Why do we have bids? We were asked to bid these.
Yes, but the bids,
Yeah, and ours is the lowest bid if you would, if you notice, and it's gonna
We
save the
don't have
township
to
some
take-
money.
we don't have to take.
And it's not-
those
I realize you don't have to, but what is the object of putting a bid in the paper then? I can realize if it's, you know, really, really low, but if ours is low, that's, if we don't make the money, we don't make the money, but
What's
apparently,
the difference between your fill and your heavy fill?
I don't think not, I mean, I don't know, but our price would be probably lower than Eddie's, I mean, you're
I
not
know,
talking
but
that
I'm
much.
just asking, cause you
Yeah.
have just fill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
it did,
I mean, we
it
can-
did specify heavy fill.
well, okay,
I'm
well,
just
that's what we're
asking
gonna,
if there's a difference in price.
okay, no, there isn't.
because I'm not 100% sure, but I think theirs is $30 a yard for the difference between fill sand and heavy fill. You know, and I know the reason why it was specified for the heavy fill is because of the cement. So that's the only, you know, that, there is a difference there. When it's broke out there, your heavy fill was 750 and Swanson's was 1180. Difference between the heavy
So
fill.
that's all, that would be 40,
Still would be.
it's still, yeah, that would still only be $400.
Right.
You gotta give them heavy fill? Is that what you did, heavy fill?
Well, what would the word like?
Because you left the word out?
Yeah, we maybe left the word out, yeah.
I guess, at this rate, do we have a choice other than to table it and figure it out? Because there is that much difference between the two and, well, and between the three, but in keeping it local and things.
I guess Dave wouldn't have a special meeting on it.
Because from what I remember seeing, reading, they didn't give the price of each thing that per whatever it was.
But I don't,
Like we did have on a couple of the other bids that we have had lately,
Mhm.
that they have given a specification of amount of money per item.
you know, I don't understand how that is anybody's concern. I mean, we bid the job, and if we lose money on something, we lose the money. I mean, you guys aren't losing the money, you're gaining the money by hiring us.
We're
And,
just gonna make a decision what we wanna do here, Brenda. We'll then-
okay, well, I'm just voicing my opinion about it, because why do we have bids?
Well,
I
I
mean,
know what you're saying, but there's a significant difference in the two bids, and that's I think why we're
That's-
concerned. This is a pretty small job, and there's over $2,030 difference between the two prices. So,
but I realize that, but that's what I'm saying, if we take a loss we take a loss, but you guys aren't losing out, we're the ones losing
No,
out.
that's the.
You know, I
But
mean,
if you don't do it properly,
well, why
then
don't you
we're
ask,
losing out.
well, the fire department is not here, but you could ask them what a good job that we done over
Oh,
there.
I'm not questioning that.
Yeah,
right.
but, yeah,
But if there is, such a difference on this.
well, we bid it low.
And if you guys find out as you're going, well, we'll skip this just a little bit and
No.
skip this a little bit.
No, actually, Ethel, when we did the job over there the other time, we did a little bit
I know
extra
you
here and
did.
there.
I know you did.
You know, so, I mean, we're not out
You're
to,
not-
Didn't you bid it according to the way it's advertised?
sorry,
I
Jay.
wondered what was going off for a minute.
I'm
there.
sorry, I'm sorry. Shut my phone off, nobody ever
There's so
called
many
me.
different rings.
Is this Crush? Where it says the six-bag concrete mix?
And it doesn't say what,
And
it
it
doesn't
doesn't
say,
say if it's 6 inches thick reinforced
Well-
with 6x6 10-gauge wire mesh.
We went by what it said in the bid, you know, whatever it said in the bid, that's what we said, you know, we figured out for the, I mean,
well,
Eddie
we
probably,
have to be fair to Swanson's too, there's nobody here to represent them, so.
well, they should
It-
come to the meetings
I
then.
know, but this is not an open forum dialogue, what we're trying to do.
I
here.
understand
I was being
that.
courteous to try to ask you some
Yeah.
questions and try to get an understanding, because your bid is not very clear. And that's what the board is looking at right now. If you
Well-
compare the nomenclatures in this bid compared to the other bids, theirs is a little more thorough. So that's where the question is right now.
Well, I was just
So what
saying
would
that the bid is
we're gonna
what the
move
bid
on.
is.
Brenda, we're gonna move on.
Okay,
So you made a motion to
Yeah.
table it? Second
can I just ask when it's tabled to?
We will let you know.
Okay,
We will
thank
let
you.
Anyway,
Until what, further notice?
yeah. We will contact the three contractors that submitted the bid.
Shouldn't it be done before the expansion budget?
Well, we're hoping.
You can't.
Just tell them that your bid is according to whatever was advertised.
Okay, we need to,
It is, yeah.
okay, thank you. Okay, we have a motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're gonna table this one now too. We'll see that a little bit more. Okay, there's no new business, public comment, please, step up to the mic and state your name and, 3 minutes, please. Brenda?
I raised my hand. I'm Brenda Eimer, and what I wanted to ask about is, last month we had the, money for the drug people. How much, this, yeah, this thing, yeah. The brothers. How much money did we end up giving them, because remember that was tabled, and, did we give them more, or did?
We haven't done anything yet. He is coming to the meeting. He hasn't contacted us. He was at the last MTA meeting and indicated that he's gonna be coming to the townships. So we're gonna wait for him to come here, and that's Lieutenant Keister, so we haven't done anything yet.
And another question I wanted to tell you is Whittemore is getting new sidewalks, and, you know, and why, they say that there's no money for us, but then they're gonna do,
Well,
they're
Whittemore's a
different
city.
grants or
Well,
whatever.
yeah, Whittemore's a city, number one.
Oh.
And it's a completely different criteria from between a city and a general law township. And I don't know if you recall, but, it was last year or so, April and I met with Lappin Associates to try to go to EMOG to try to get to continue the sidewalk project with that. And, they were not doing any rural development, EMOG was not at that time. But the cities, they fall under federal dollars, and there's a completely different world between the
Okay.
city and town. Now, it doesn't mean it's off the table for us to look into doing those, because I would still like to do
Oh,
those as well.
yeah, but
But,
it's,
actually, Rose City, just put some sidewalks in, it was like 900 feet of sidewalk. But I'm gonna talk to their mayor and find out what it costs them. You know, maybe that's something we can work into our budget, even if we have to do it that way, if we can't do it by grant. Start doing a little at a time or whatever, not put on,
yeah, okay, well then, thank you.
thanks.
Dave Ryan, I just wanna make sure, we have a meet the candidate at the Chamber of Commerce on the 18th, and the last one they had, there was hardly anybody there. We should see people out there. Drag people, they say they don't know what to vote about. Get there, you can hear what the people have to say. Thank you.
Who's gonna be there?
Oh, I've got a list. John West, Brenda Simmons, the sheriff candidates Howie and Scott Colclasher, Bruce Rendon, Lon Johnson, Brenda Eimer, Donna Emerson, Greg Colton. Let's see. Ethel Height. Deborah Worth is going to be there, and Dave Camp is either going to be there or send somebody on his behalf. And I think that's April Mason. I think April Harshey Mason. I'm not sure.
On that note, can I take my turn? I'm April Mason, and I walked the boardwalk here a few days ago. There's some issues down there where the boards are busted and turning up, and they're turned up enough where somebody could trip on them. So I took pictures, so you can be aware of what's going on, and you can keep them, and they just need addressing.
Well, just to make it clear too, that we go through that boardwalk 2 or 3 times a summer. There's a lot of boards out there, so in all respect to the Parks and Recs guys, matter of fact, we just went through there just a couple of weeks ago and replaced a bunch of boards and things like that, so that's gonna happen until that's completely seasoned, but they do try to take care of it, they do maintain, they do a good job of it too. We can't see all of them, there's a quarter of a mile worth of boards in there, so, but thanks for bringing this to our attention.
Hi, I'm Shane Gomez, and I just wanted to remind everybody that we're doing a library for the an auction for the library this Saturday. All the funds are going to go directly to the library, and we got lots of stuff, so we need lots of buyers. So you guys can please come. The other question I had was for the board. All the work that's been done to the fire hall, is that being paid for out of the general fund of the township, or is that coming from? Does the fire department have their own fund for that?
Yes, the fire department fund, yes. The fire department has an operating millage. The fire equipment millage is strictly earmarked for fire equipment, which we are going to be using a portion of that to offset the cost in for the fire truck that we'll be getting here. But the fire protection currently has $104,000 in its balance, but that's part of its operating cost. And so repairs to existing structures is operating cost. That's where it comes out of.
Thank you.
April, did you mark where these are at? So we can
No.
Maybe you can
One is right at, the worst one there that's sticking up the worst is right in front of Mrs. LeGraff's house.
Okay. We'll go back through there and take a look. But they do go through there, but that's good because I know
Yeah,
we
I
have
seen
that
them out
thing
there
coming up pretty soon, so
a
we'll,
while ago pounding down nails that was up, so
Yes, we'll try to get
I
them
know
done.
it happens.
before the trick or treat thing. Any other public comment?
Yes, I'm Brenda Simmons, and I'd just like to introduce myself. I'm a candidate for the County Commissioner for District 4, so just to let you know who I am. And I will be at the forum on October 18th to answer any questions you may have of me. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? No other comment, motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?